This is The Fix.
My name is Sarah Worthington, and I'm the director of the Texas Foster Youth Justice Project, which is a program at Texas RioGrande Legal Aid. I am a social worker turned attorney, and in my role at the Texas Foster Youth Justice Project, I get to use my experience and skills to not only meet the immediate legal needs of our clients, but to also disrupt and improve the systems that affect them. So many youth who age out of foster care often don't have the same support system they did while they were in care. And when they're suddenly shoved into the world and expected to function on their own, many times their needs go unmet. These needs most of the time relate to housing and employment and healthcare, but that's just to name a few. And these challenges are usually much greater for young adults with mental health challenges and disabilities, and for young adults who aren't citizens. There are also great challenges for youth who, before they turn 18, exit foster care to a permanency plan like adoption or being faced with family or friends, and that adoption or permanency placement is disrupted or failed. Those youth and young adults often have no support and don't have the ability to access the same benefits that are available to youth who age out. The Texas Foster Youth Justice Project is here to fill in the gaps and to provide support to young adults who don't have anyone else. We usually prioritize legal needs that act as barriers to independence. A lot of times this looks like replacing or correcting identification documents, sealing juvenile, working on juvenile or criminal records if they're available to be sealed or expunged. We also, if possible, help people understand their immigration status and obtain necessary documents, and of course help people establish contact with the services and benefits they're entitled to. We'll have a lot of young people come to us saying that they need to replace their birth certificate, but they don't know the information on their birth record, so we also have to request their CPS records. And through our intake, we also find out that they had a juvenile case when they were younger that they would like to have sealed. Oh, but also they'd like to have access to their siblings, so we'll review a case for that as well to see if that's an option. So the needs are just very complex and overlapping, and they, again, once they leave care, they don't have anybody guiding them through that. And while in care, most young people have things done for them all the time, and so once they're out of that safety net, they're just on their own without having the experience and the skills to navigate those on their own. A large majority just do a Google search and we pop up pretty quick, so they contact us either through our hotline or through our website. We also get a lot of referrals from CASAs. We get a lot of referrals from CPS staff and from sometimes other attorneys. A lot of school staff refer clients to us as well because as I mentioned, we serve people with experience in foster care, but also those with similar challenges. So that includes, young, homeless, or unaccompanied people who don't have the support. We'll work with them as well. So we offer information, resources, referrals, and advice through our hotline and our Aging Out Guide. We're available to answer a question from anybody who calls. That can be a youth or young adult themselves, but we also work often with other adults who are trying to support them. That can be family members, CASAs, other attorneys, school staff, CPS staff. We take a lot of pride in providing support to those other supportive adults so that they can help meet those needs without necessarily opening up a legal case with us. We also, I think one of the most useful things that we do is to help youth who have experience in foster care understand more of their past so that they can move forward with their future. We frequently request CPS records on behalf of our clients so that they have information that they've never had before about their childhood and about their family. And finally, we work to identify the challenges that act as barriers to independence. And so we look at those potential legal issues and find out whether and how we can overcome them. And like I've mentioned, the case types are very similar. We request a lot of CPS records. We do a lot of work around identification documents. We do a lot of work around juvenile record sealing and criminal record expunction. We help youth understand what their immigration status is and replace their documents. We help young adults petition for access to their siblings. We do name changes and name and gender marker changes, and of course we advocate for youth to connect to the benefits that they're entitled to. by making sure they're connected with their PAL workers or their adoption assistant specialists. And if there are barriers in accessing those benefits, we advocate for them too. They can request their own records after they turn 18, but there are some barriers to access. Many times, DFPS takes quite a while to respond to the records requests. They are very backed up. They get a lot of requests. And so if a youth themselves or a young adult themselves request their records, they will get it, and it may take upwards to around a year. And the way that the records are provided is to an email address, and a lot of young people lose access to their electronic accounts. And so a story that we hear quite often from young adults who tried to request the records is they never got them, they don't know what's going on, and so many times it has to do with them no longer being able to access the email address they used to open their account. My hope for the future of the Texas Foster Youth Justice Project is that our services won't be needed. That's very aspirational. I know that won't really happen, but the services that we provide would not be needed if the people in their CPS case throughout their life were paying close attention and providing zealous advocacy to make sure their needs were met. I fully believe that every child who is adopted should be guaranteed that their identification documents will be updated to their legal name and that they will be provided those documents so that they don't have to come ask us for help. I believe that every non-citizen child should understand their immigration status before they leave here and be provided with documents related to their status. I believe that every child with a juvenile case should know and be aware of their eligibility for sealing before they turn 18 so that they can work on eliminating those barriers themselves. In order to meet those goals, we will continue to advocate with our community partners and continue to advocate with our government agencies to make sure that those needs are met and to make sure that youth who have experience in foster care can find new beginnings after they leave.